In a quiet courtroom filled with polished wood, flashing cameras, and the soft murmur of anticipation, no one expected what was about to happen that morning. A wealthy socialite sat confidently in the front row, dressed in designer clothing, her expression sharp with superiority. She had spent years building a reputation in elite circles, respected, feared, and rarely challenged. Across from her stood Judy, ordinary clothes, calm expression, no luxury brand names, no entourage. Just a woman everyone in that room had already quietly judged as out of place. The rich woman leaned toward her lawyer and whispered loudly enough for nearby reporters to hear. Honestly, she looks clueless. I don't know why this is even a case. A few people chuckled. Judy didn't react. But what nobody understood was this. Judy hadn't come unprepared. She had come with receipts, and by the end of the day, the entire room would regret underestimating her. Act 1. The Humiliation. The case had started weeks earlier as a simple dispute, an alleged breach of agreement between Judy and a high-profile business group tied to the wealthy woman, Vanessa Cole. Vanessa Cole was known in elite circles as untouchable. She came from old money, wore confidence like armor, and believed she could read people instantly, and she thought she had read Judy perfectly. People like her always misunderstand contracts, Vanessa had told her assistants earlier. They sign things they don't understand. That belief became the foundation of her arrogance. In her mind, Judy wasn't a threat, she was a mistake. Inside the courtroom, Vanessa leaned back in her chair as Judy's attorney began to speak. But instead of listening, she whispered again, this time louder. She probably doesn't even understand half the words being said right now. A few suppressed laughs echoed from her side of the room. Judy still didn't react. But her attorney noticed something. Judy wasn't nervous. She was waiting. Act 2. Judy's Silence. The first hour of the hearing went exactly how Vanessa expected. Her legal team presented polished arguments, confident body language, and carefully curated narratives. Everything sounded convincing on the surface. Vanessa smiled. She even checked her phone once, bored. This is a waste of time, she muttered. But then something subtle shifted. Judy's attorney stood up. We would like to present additional evidence, he said calmly. Vanessa rolled her eyes. More confusion, she whispered. Let's see what she thinks she has. A file was placed on the judge's desk, then another, then another. Thick folders, printed emails, signed agreements, financial records. The judge leaned forward slightly. Vanessa stopped smiling. Something about the volume of documents didn't feel right. AC3, the first crack. The attorney began speaking again. Your Honor, these documents were obtained through legal discovery. They show a complete timeline of communications between Ms. Cole's company and Ms. Judy. Vanessa shifted in her seat, still confident, but less relaxed. Judy remained silent. The attorney continued. Contrary to the claim that Ms. Judy misunderstood the agreement, the records show she questioned multiple clauses before signing. Vanessa scoffed under her breath. That doesn't prove anything. But then the attorney added something unexpected. And here are the written responses from Ms. Cole's legal team assuring her those clauses were standard and non-problematic. A pause. The courtroom quieted. Vanessa's expression tightened slightly. Judy hadn't made a mistake. She had asked questions, and those questions had been dismissed. Act 4. The Turning Point. The attorney clicked a remote. A large screen behind him lit up. Emails appeared, dates, signatures, highlighted phrases. Vanessa leaned forward for the first time. One email stood out. We confirm the terms are standard. No further clarification is necessary. Another. Please proceed with signing to avoid delays. The attorney's voice was steady. Ms. Judy was encouraged to sign under time pressure, despite requesting clarification multiple times. Vanessa interrupted sharply. That's normal in business. But the judge raised a hand. Let him finish. Silence fell again. Judy still hadn't spoken, but now people were looking at her differently, not as clueless, but as someone who had been ignored. Act 5. The public shock. The attorney then said the words that changed everything. We also have internal communication from Ms. Cole's team acknowledging that certain clauses could be interpreted as misleading. Vanessa froze. The room shifted. That wasn't supposed to be in evidence. Whispers started spreading through the courtroom. Vanessa leaned toward her lawyer urgently. What is that? Why do they have that? But it was too late. The document was already displayed. Highlighted lines revealed internal discussions. She might not fully understand the implications, but we can proceed. A murmur spread through the audience. Judy's silence was no longer passive, it was powerful. Act 6. Vanessa loses control. Vanessa finally snapped. This is ridiculous, she said loudly. She signed the agreement. That's all that matters. Her voice echoed through the room. For the first time, she looked unsettled. The attorney calmly responded, signing under misrepresentation is not legally binding in this context. Vanessa turned sharply toward Judy, and then it happened, the moment she had been waiting for all day. She smirked and said loudly enough for everyone to hear, I still don't understand why this is even a case. She seems completely clueless. A few people gasped. Even some of Vanessa's own team shifted uncomfortably. Judy slowly looked up, for the first time, directly at her. The room went quiet. 7. Judy speaks. Judy stood. No dramatic movement, no anger, just calm certainty. She adjusted her jacket slightly and walked toward the front. Every eye in the courtroom followed her. Vanessa leaned back, still confident, but now visibly alert. Judy opened a folder. Her voice was steady. I asked for clarification 3 times before signing anything. She placed a document on the desk. I was told each time that the terms were standard. Another document. I relied on that representation. She paused, then added, and I recorded everything. That line landed like a shockwave. Vanessa's expression changed instantly. For the first time, uncertainty. AC 8, the final evidence. The attorney played an audio recording. Judy's voice. Can you confirm what this clause means? A man's voice responded, it's standard, nothing to worry about. We need this signed today. Another pause. Then Judy's voice again, I just want to make sure I understand it fully. The same response, it's fine, you're overthinking it. The courtroom went still. Vanessa's confidence cracked completely. Judy wasn't confused. She had been dismissed. Ace T9, the public reversal. The judge spoke after reviewing everything. Based on the evidence presented, the court finds that there is sufficient indication of misrepresentation and undue pressure. Vanessa's face turned pale. Judy remained still, no smile, no celebration, just quiet resolution. But the damage was done. Reporters in the back were already typing. Whispers turned into headlines in real time. The wealthy woman who once called Judy clueless now sat frozen as the entire narrative collapsed around her. Act 10. Aftermath. As the court adjourned, Vanessa tried to leave quickly, but cameras were already waiting. One reporter shouted, Ms. Cole, do you still think Ms. Judy is clueless? She didn't answer. Inside the courtroom, Judy gathered her documents calmly. No arrogance, no victory speech, just closure. A younger journalist approached her quietly. Did you expect this outcome? Judy paused. No, she said honestly, but I prepared for it. And then she walked out. Ending the case didn't just expose a contract dispute, it exposed something far more uncomfortable. How easily confidence can be mistaken for intelligence, how often people are dismissed before they are understood, and how dangerous it is to underestimate someone simply because they don't fit your expectations. Vanessa Cole once called Judy clueless in a room full of people who laughed along. But by the end of that day, there was no laughter left, only silence, and the undeniable proof that Judy was never clueless. She was just underestimated.